The principal purpose of money is to facilitate trade. It seems that we humans like to be rewarded for things we do and like to receive things in return for the things we give. I'm no psychologist, so I don't know if this characteristic is inborn or taught. Either way, it seems to be deeply ingrained in each of us. I'll give you this if you'll give me that. I'll do this for you if you'll do that for me. You scratch my back and I'll scratch yours. We're all familiar with the process. In the early days of trade, barter was the method used. The things I mentioned in an earlier rant, cattle, rice, salt, etc., were the items typically traded because they were things that people needed. If person A had some rice to trade and person B had a bearskin to trade, they would exchange those items with each other and both were happy. However, if person B had no need of rice, then person A had to find someone who has a bearskin and needs rice. Otherwise, he could pick up a rock, clonk person B on the head, and take the bearskin. This technique is called barbarism or theft and is still used today. Money is less restrictive in that it is universally tradable. Therefore, if person A has $100 to trade for the bearskin, they make the trade. No need for rice or a rock. As this example illustrates, there is little difference in barter and buying. When we think of barter, we usually think of exchanging one item for another item without involving money. If I trade you my circular saw for your bicycle, we would call that barter. But if I trade you $50 for your bicycle, we would say that I bought the bike from you. Either way, we trade or exchange. We each give something and we each receive something. In both cases, each of us has to have something that the other wants. The only difference is that buying uses money and barter does not. As explained in a previous rant, money itself is of no use to human beings. However, it can be traded for goods and services that are of use to us. As a matter of fact, in the monetary system, it's just about the only thing that can be traded for things we need and want. As such, it becomes the method for distributing goods and services to the population. The more money a person has, the more goods and services she has access to. Likewise, the less money she has, the fewer goods and services she has access to. Therefore, our quality of life is largely determined by the amount of money we have. This, of course, is news to no one who has lived in a monetary system for even a short period of time. In our world today, the purpose of money seems to have moved beyond its basic function of facilitating trade to accumulation of wealth. Though the desire for wealth is certainly nothing new, in times past it was determined by tangible property such as cattle or land. He owns 700 acres and 250 head of cattle. Today, while those things would still be considered wealth, a more common measure is the money itself. He's worth $300 million. I believe that what this says in a subtle way is that the stockpiling of money, though it is virtually intangible, is more desirable than tangible property. Seems a bit backward, doesn't it? Humans have been using their bodies to do work ever since there have been humans. Manual labor used to be called an honest day's work. Now it's considered passé, old school. The few folks who still do it are known as common laborers. Not a compliment. In my lifetime, I've seen muscle power supplanted by brain power, where people sit behind computers and shuffle paper to do their work. Now we've developed something called the financial industry, in which we let our money work for us. Wealth accumulation is no longer a result of an honest day's work. We're told to work smart, not hard. A significant part of that advice is to invest in the market, securities, and commodities, and to bet on the likelihood that people will or won't be able to pay their bills. These types of investments are called collateralized debt obligations, CDOs, and credit default swaps, CDSs. This is what our society has come to. We've elevated money to a position in which it trumps human beings, even to the point of worship. Quite frankly, I don't know how much longer God will tolerate this.